Many people from all around the world. Then thank you for joining us. And we will start in 2 minutes, right, Sister Abby? Sharp, right? Okay. Then welcome. If you have any technical issue, please use the chat and we will try to help you. And yeah. Okay, then. Um, Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the presentation of the 2025 Talitha Kum Annual Report on the vigil of the World Day Against Human Trafficking. This event brings together members of the international community, survivors, grassroots leaders, and partners to share and reflect on a year of activities and our shared mission against human trafficking. Before we begin, we just share with you a few housekeeping rules or notes. First of all, interpretation. Interpretation is available in 5 languages: English, Spanish, French, Italian, and Portuguese. You will find the globe icon on the bottom of your screen, but look for the globe icon and you can choose your language. To ensure the best quality, audio quality for this meeting, we kindly ask you to mute, to keep the microphones unmute. And if you have any question, don't worry, please note them, and then we will have a Q&A session later. The recording of this meeting and the full report will be available on our website in the next hours or by tomorrow, the recording. And then I think we can start again. Good afternoon. Welcome again to everybody. And we are here for the presentation of the Talitha Kum annual report on the vigil of the World Day Against Human Trafficking. According to the International Labour Organization and the International Organization for Migration, an estimated 50 million people are living in situation of modern slavery worldwide, while human trafficking and related form of exploitation generate approximately $236 billion in illegal profit every year. Against this backdrop, Talitha Kum continues to strengthen its global response through prevention, survivor protection, access to justice, partnership, and advocacy. Talitha Kum is the international network against human trafficking, founded in 2009 by UISG and led by Catholic sisters across the world. The network operates in 113 countries through the activity that we say then: prevention, protection, access to justice, partnership, advocacy, and survivor accompaniment initiatives. It brings together women and men religious survivors, young people, and partners committed to ending human trafficking and promoting human dignity. Let's start with an opening prayer led by Sister Nedi. Please, Sister Nedi Lamperti from Talitha Kum, South Africa. She's joining us from South Africa. I leave the floor to her for this opening prayer, please.
Yes, good afternoon. Sorry, my voice today, but I can do it. In the beginning of this webinar, let us take a quiet moment to place ourselves in God's presence. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In the Gospel of Mark, Jesus takes a young girl by the hand and says, "Talitha Kum, little girl, I say to you, arise." Mark 5:41. These words continue to inspire the mission of the Talitha Kum network. They remind us that God always calls us to bring hope, restore dignity, and stand beside those whose lives have been wounded by human trafficking and exploitation. Today we come together from many countries, united by one mission and one faith. During this webinar, we will listen to stories of hope, reflect on our shared journey, and celebrate what God has done through the commitment of sisters, young people, partners, and survivors around the world. We also remember that many human, men and children, who are still waiting for freedom, healing, and justice. As well, we remember all migrants and refugees around the world who are forced to leave their homes or return to their countries because many become victims of human trafficking and exploitation. We pray that this time together may strengthen our faith, renew our hope, and encourage us to continue this mission with courage and love. Let's share. And let us pray. Loving and merciful God, we thank you for bringing us together today as one Talitha Kum family. Thank you for calling us from different countries, cultures, and communities to share one mission, to protect lives, defend human dignity, and be signs of your love in the world. Send us your Holy Spirit so that our listening may be open, our reflections honest, and our hearts ready to welcome your voice. We remember every human, man and child who has suffered because of human trafficking, exploitation, and abuse. Hold them close to your hearts. Heal their wounds, renew their hope, and lead them to people who will walk with them in compassion, justice, and love. We also pray for migrants and refugees around the world who are forced to leave their homes because of violence, poverty, war, discrimination, and racism, climate change, and other crises. In their search for safety and a better future, many become vulnerable to trafficking and exploitation. Lord, be their protector on every road they travel. Keep them safe from all dangers, strengthen their hope, and lead them to places where they are welcome, respected, and free. Bless all the sisters, priests, young people, partners, volunteers, and communities who dedicate their lives to preventing trafficking, accompanying survivors, and defending the dignity of every person. When they grow tired, renew their strength. When they face challenge, fill them with courage. May they always reflect your compassion and your light. Open our eyes to recognize your presence in those who suffer. Open our hearts to love without fear and to serve without counting the cost. May this time together inspire us to walk more faithfully in the mission you have entrusted to us, so that every life may be protected and every person may live with dignity, peace, and hope. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Sister Neide. Thank you, Neidi. I would now like to invite Sister Roxanne Shares, Executive Secretary of UASG, to deliver her opening remarks. Please, Sister Roxanne, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. And really, it's a great joy and privilege for me on behalf of UISG, the International Union of Superiors General, to welcome you and to join you in this launch of the Talitha Kum Annual Report 2025. First of all, I wish to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you throughout the world who have been instruments in living the commitment and carrying out the tremendous work of Talitha Kum, the global network to end human trafficking. Thank you to our Talitha Kum staff and the members of the Talitha Kum networks, our collaborators, partners in mission. Mission. Sharing in God's mission, God's work, is, as St. Oscar Romero described, a hard mission, a revolution, the revolution of Christ's love. This kind of revolution is motivated by the power of love that seeks conversion, the transformation of society. The Talitha Kum Annual Report 2025 reflects this kind of commitment to God's mission that involves an ongoing transformational journey. In many ways, it has been a hard journey with the evolving interconnected crises, the expanding violent conflicts and wars, climate catastrophes, economic injustices, and ongoing scamming. These have increased the vulnerability of millions of men, women, and children, putting them at risk of being trafficked, put into slavery. Yet I believe it has also been a journey of hope. Sharing God's mission during the Church's Jubilee year, we have tried to live this journey as pilgrims of hope. For hope does not disappoint, because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit. Clearly, it has been a revolution of participating in and sharing God's love. The journey this past year, one shared as pilgrims of hope, has expanded globally and touched the lives of more than 1.2 million people through encounters and accompaniment, awareness raising, prevention and protection, capacity building and advocacy, healing and reconciliation. Together, in this growing collaboration, we have not only touched more lives, we have also been empowered to better respond to many dimensions of this grave injustice of trafficking. It takes courage to be part of such a complex, difficult journey. Journeying with those whose human dignity has been denied, who have struggled and suffered, we come to share in their pain and suffering. But in doing so, in our being together, we discover God's gift of hope and have the courage to discern and take the next steps in creating the path toward a more just and truly human world. As we receive this report, ponder the outreach achieved, along with the insights and learning, may our time together be a moment, an opportunity to be renewed in hope and strengthened in courage to continue this transformational journey. Indeed, a hard mission, the revolution of Christ's love. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Roxanne, for your words, for your inspiring words. Courage, revolution of Christ's love. And during the prayer we heard, may every life be protected and every person live with dignity, peace, and hope. This exact effort shine through every single page of our reports. report. It is now time to get to the heart of today's event. It is my pleasure then to invite Sister Abby Avellino, the International Coordinator of Talitha Kum, to present the report, the Allies of the Talitha Kum Annual Report. Sister Abby, over to you.
Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you, Sister Roxanne. But before I proceed to our report, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our guests. Of course, we are very fortunate to have many our partners in mission, especially to the embassy, to the Holy See that are present here. Of course, the journalists are also present, but most of all, our sisters on the grassroots, as well as our partners in mission and globally. So I'm happy, really. Am I audible? So I'm okay?
Yeah, I think so. Now it's okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And again, thank you, Alexandra, for really leading this report. I really also acknowledge on behalf of Talitha Kum International Coordination, many of you are here. So thank you for your presence, our national coordinators. It's really a great honor and joy to present the Talitha Kum Annual Report 2025. Today, we gather not simply to share the statistics, but to celebrate the lives behind those numbers, the survivors who have found support and hope, the communities that have been empowered, the young people who have become leaders, and the thousands of sisters and our partners who continue to stand together against human trafficking. Again, Talitha Kum, little girl, I say to you, rise up. This is the words that continue to inspire our mission, that remind us that every person affected by trafficking has a story, a dignity, a future. In 2025, Talitha Kum continues its global mission to prevent human trafficking, accompany survivors, promote justice, and advocate for systemic change. So this report that we are going to really embrace in a few moments to help us to understand the impact of our work as a Talitha Kum. We will hear who we have to reach, what support has been provided, how have communities responded, how have we worked together to protect human dignity. Of course, we would like also to share with you our challenges and our hope. As you see right now, our global network, Talitha Kum continued to grow as a global network of solidarity and hope. Today, we are present throughout 68 national networks in 113 countries. So present in 6 regions, Asia, Europe, Africa, Oceania, America, and of course, the region of Middle East. For 2025, we welcome the new networks, which is our Malawi, Botswana, Lesotho, and Swatini. I really extend this gratitude to the support of the sisters in South Africa. So our mission is carried forward by our members of our sisters and partners with a total of 6,387. That's including 882 women religious congregations, 100 male congregation, so representing 5% increase compared in 2024. So this growth demonstrates the continued commitment of consecrated life, together with our lay partners and organization, including the young people, but many of you are present here, of course, the global mission of ending human trafficking. Talitha Kum is a network built on relationships, trust. It is a network where faith, compassion, care, and community action come together. Before I would really like to share our figures and our global impact, I'd like to take this opportunity to express my deepest gratitude to our sisters and our partners who patiently and, of course, faithfully contribute to this process. Behind every number is their daily presence, their tireless accompaniment, and their commitment to serving communities and walking along survivors. So every year, they patiently document their activities and impact, help us to understand not only what we have accomplished, but how lives have been transformed. Because of their dedication, these figures become much more than statistics. They tell stories of hope, care, resilience, and renewed dignity. As you see from the screen, in 2025, Talitha Kum reached out more than 1.2 million people worldwide, representing 29% increase compared to the previous year. And behind these numbers, there are survivors who found safety and care, young people who became advocates, communities that learned to recognize trafficking, and partners who chose to stand with us, building a world free from trafficking and exploitation. As your screen is also prevention, that's our strength. What remains is one of our strengths in our mission. Every day, our sisters, young leaders, our partners meet people where they live, where they learn, work, and pray. They are present in schools, villages, parishes, shelters, remote areas, and more and more in digital platforms, especially with the initiative of young people. They are present in TV and radio, and of course in social media. Our goal is simple but powerful: to help people recognize the risk of trafficking before exploitation happens. In 2025, Prevention Initiative reached 972 people, making it our largest area of impact. One of the most encouraging development has growth of our Young Leaders or Youth Ambassadors program, so including their initiative in Walking in Dignity app, which has now reached active users in more than 100 countries at this point. So young people are not only beneficiaries of prevention programs, but they are becoming educators through peer education, also advocates and ambassadors with their own communities. They remind us that young people are not only the future, but they are already part of the solution. So, walking along survival, protection, and care, this is also one of our heart mission of our network. In 2025, Talitha Kum accompanied 34,470 victims and survivors of human trafficking. For survivors alone, we offered safe shelter, psychological and spiritual care, legal assistance, skill training, and livelihood opportunities. So every survivor's journey is unique. Some need immediate protection, others need to heal from trauma, many seek opportunity to rebuild their lives through education, employment, and support of welcoming community. Our mission is rooted in accompaniment. We walk alongside survivors with respect, patience, compassion, and hope, recognizing their resilience and honoring their dignity. We believe every survivor has strength to build a new future. Another impact that we would like to share with you is access to justice. Justice is an essential part of our healing. And this year, 2025, we accompanied 7,120 survivors in accessing justice, 72% increase compared to 2024. So working closely with legal professionals, governments, local partners, we support survivors through legal referrals, investigation, court proceedings, and protections of their rights. We believe when justice is served, survivors regain their voices. Traffickers are held accountable, and communities become safer. Another strong point that we would like to share with you is in the aspect or the area of networking and collaboration. We all know that human trafficking is a crime that demands a global response. We need really to work together. In this area, our partnership and networking increased by 77.5%. Together, through our networks and in collaboration with religious congregations, bishop conferences, governments, NGOs, civil organizations, interfaith partners, international court organization, and of course, I'd like to acknowledge and also thank the various dicasteries of the Roman Curia, the Embassy to the Holy Sees, and of course, we continue to build a stronger, more coordinated response. This is how our network growing because of this collaboration. Our greatest strength is not our presence in 113 countries. It is our ability to walk together in solidarity. Another area is advocating for systemic change. Advocacy amplifies survivors' voices and pushes for systemic change. This reached out to 34,349 people. We are trying to reach more, but we are working, and I would like to invite you, when you visit our report, look at what we're doing in North America, especially in USA, Canada, and also in Australia and Europe. So our mission extends beyond direct service. We advocate for strong protection system, survivor-centered policies, and action that addresses the root causes of trafficking. As affirmed in our 2024 Assembly, advocacy is one of our strategic strategies or priorities for 2025 to 2030. Through dialogue, public awareness, media engagement, and collaboration with decision makers, we seek not only to respond to exploitation, but also to prevent it. Most importantly, we ensure that the voices and lived experience of survivors help shape the policies, the practices, and social change our societies needed. We also acknowledge in this report our stories, the stories of hope. At the heart of this report are the stories that continue to inspire us. Stories of survivors who have rediscovered hope. Stories of young leaders who have become voices for prevention. Stories of sisters and partners whose faithful presence has changed lives. Stories of communities that have been moved from silence to solidarity. These stories remind us that transformation is possible through our shared commitment. When we walk together, hope is restored. Lives are changed and identity is renewed. So as we reflect on this past year, we celebrate the progress that we have made, but also we're all recognizing that much work still lies ahead. We still need to work hard. Human trafficking continues to rob millions of people of their freedom and dignity. Yet we remain people of hope. As a global network rooted in faith, prayers remain an essential source of strength and inspiration for our mission. In prayer, we accompany survivors, those still trapped in situations of exploitation, those seeking justice, and those who dedicate their lives to protecting human dignity. We also pray for the transformation of those who cause harm, that they may recognize the dignity of every person and choose the path of conversion, responsibility, and life. At the heart of our mission is commitment to restore dignity, protect human life, and work towards a world where every person can live in freedom, justice, and hope. Again, through our shared efforts, we continue to strengthen prevention, protection, empowerment, and solidarity with survivors and communities. So inspired by the witness of Saint Josephine Pikita, we renew our commitment to these journeys in compassion, courage, and action. Again, we would like to share with you this report. Thank you for your partnership, your solidarity, and for walking this journey with us. So this report will be also available in different languages. As you see from the screen, this probably will be available by September. So in 5 languages. So thank you so much, and I hope that we can engage this conversation during Q&A. Of course, my colleague will be joining us as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Sister Rabbi. Yes, I confirm the report will be ready in Spanish, French, Italian, and Portuguese at beginning of September, let's say. But we are working, very hard. And at the moment, you can find the English one and also a press release where we have all the highlights from the report. Then, now, the report consists in 109 pages, and you can find data, analysis, vision, strategic vision, stories, testimonies. You will find everything. And if you have any question, please take note, and then we will have the Q&A moment in 10 minutes, let's say. No, 15, maybe 20 minutes. Now, I would like to bring Sister Nina Kapric, Deputy Director of the Holy See Press Office, into the conversation. Hi, Sister Nina. Originally from Croatia, she is a legal professional, communication expert, and a member of the Sister of Charity of St. Vincent de Paul. She joined the Dicastery for Communication in 2023, prior to her appointment by Pope Leo last February. Sister Nina is with us. I think
I'm here.
Yeah.
I hope you hear me.
Show us Nina. Sister Nina, now I can see Sister Rabbi. But if you can put Sister Nina on the screen, please. Yes. Hi, Sister Nina.
Hello.
Hi, welcome. And thank you for being with us and for joining us. You are part of the community of Talitha Kum.
Yes.
And as both a sister and a communication specialist, we would like to hear your perspective and learn what lens you use to look at this report, what lens you suggest to look at this report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alessandra. Thank you very much, Sister Abby, and to the whole team of Talitha Kum for your kind invitation. So I am truly honored and very happy to be here today. And I feel, as you said, Alessandra, in a very real way, part of Talitha Kum family. And I would like to speak today from several perspectives. So as a communicator, as someone who had also worked with people on the margins of society, as a Catholic sister, whose field of study is digital communication and the way that religious life is represented in contemporary media. And I would like to begin with the personal memory. So when I think back to the first time I discovered that Talitha Kum existed, I still remember exactly the place where I was when I read about Talitha Kum and understood what the network was doing. I remember that excitement in the most positive way. Why? Because Talitha Kum, at that point for me, was a living proof of something I deeply believed that consecrated life could be and could do, and a network it could start. And it showed me what consecrated life can do when we recognize the spiritual and communal power that has been entrusted to us. And through the history, we have learned that consecrated life has the capacity to look beyond what is immediately visible and to recognize suffering that others may overlook, and to enter spaces where sometimes not even institutions or states have the capacity to enter. And today, this is clearly human trafficking, one of the biggest evils in our society. So thank you for answering that call. And also, consecrated life has the capacity to grow in the dynamic of the Holy Spirit. So, constantly listening, adapting, learning, responding, exactly what you do in the network. And this is what I see in Talitha Kum, a global network strong enough to reach across countries, languages, cultures, charisms, congregations. A network that can become, in a sense, a safety net where all the endangered persons can find support, encounter new possibilities for a good and safe life, and life in which their dignity is recognized and protected. So, why communicating your work matters? From the perspective of a communicator, I believe that communicating what you do is not secondary to your mission. It is one of the central parts of your mission. It matters because communication about what you do can make God's love for the world visible to all. It matters for awareness. It matters for prevention. It matters because, as you all know, the right information reaching the right person can protect and save lives. And it matters enormously for consecrated life itself. We are living through a very particular moment in our media ecosystem. So the environment around us is changing very quickly. Social media, algorithms, influencers, artificial intelligence, AI-generated content, they're all transforming how people understand the reality around them and also how they understand religious life. And consecrated life has found itself in a very interesting position. In many cases, our lives are being communicated by content that just simply went viral in social media. And a great deal of viral content about consecrated life is entertainment. So it's dancing, playing, singing, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. We need joy and songs, but there's a danger when this becomes the dominant story. So from the outside, religious life can begin to look like a carefree existence, music and perhaps occasional game of football. And I can understand why that image might look particularly attractive to a stressful world. But we know, and you all here present know, that our vocation has a much, much deeper meaning. At its heart, it's surrender, especially for the most endangered ones. And there is a decision to give one's life. So in the Gospel of John, we read, "Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." So to give our lives for our friends. And this is what I felt I was seeing when I first encountered a Vatican News article about the activities of Talitha Kum. And I thought, oh, here they are. Here are the sisters, the courageous partners, the collaborators. There's the surrender. There's the communion across nations and languages and cultures and charisms. There is consecrated life responding to the real questions and to the real cries of our world. And that is precisely why I believe that you must communicate what you do. Members of Talitha Kum are present in almost every corner of the world. I'm thrilled reading the messages in chat now from all over the world. And they know the ground profoundly. They know the communities. They know the people. They know the suffering. They know the hope and the power of communion. They encounter dimensions of humanity that are often hidden, forgotten, or dramatically underrepresented. And these are the ones from which we can learn the most. You, all present here, have unique perspectives on the world. You see the reality differently from the narratives that dominate our media environments. So you, all members of Talitha Kum, see the world from perspective of vulnerability. And this is the most unique and transformative perspective that we can have today. Because for you, the margins are not peripheral. For you, the margins are central. And the person whom society has pushed to the edge becomes the person toward whom you move. And through your voices and your actions, people who have been confined to those edges can once again be seen in the fullness of their human dignity. At the time when our societies are increasingly divided, Talitha Kum also communicates something else that the world desperately needs to see. And that is that it's still possible to stand together, consecrated, lay, international organizations, governments, civil society, interfaith partners, survivor leaders, local communities, all together, connected for common good. So show us how to unite around what binds us together rather than around what separates us. And this brings me specifically to annual report that we're presenting today. The annual report can be easily understood as an institutional document with numbers and projects, but it's actually much more. It is a story about all these people reached, as Sister Abby just said. Last year, Talitha Kum reached more than 1.2 million people, and all of these people have their story. And all these stories have transformative power. And we have seen that through the years in the dicastery, because for past couple of years, we have been leading the Pentecost Project, whose central idea is to communicate the great deeds of God done through Catholic sisters. So every week we publish a story in 10 languages written by a Catholic sister. And over the years, there were many stories that presented the work of Talitha Kum. And through them, audience did not just encounter the network and its mission, but also the real people behind these stories. And they were so impactful and inspirational in so many levels. And another important part of our work was bringing together sisters and media professionals from around the world. And last year, we had media professionals from London who were teaching sisters about participatory journalism. And these professionals were so passionate about producing documentaries about human trafficking. So during these lessons, for the first time, they learned that there were actually thousands of sisters around the world dedicated to confronting many of the same issues that they were documenting. And I was looking at the world, at the new world opening for them, a network of goodness, of knowledge, potential interlocutors, experts, contacts. So they were just thrilled. And people are still surprised when they discover that Talitha Kum exists. And that tells us something. So it tells us how extraordinary this network is. But it also tells us that we still have to work in communicating. So tell the world who you are. And this is why I had made one of my own rules to speak about Talitha Kum whenever I have the opportunity. And I still feel the sense of pride when I hear your activities mentioned. So my message to you today as a communicator and a sister is pretty simple. Tell your story and share your unique human perspective that you have. Not because we need promotion, but to heal the toxic media environment, to feed people's eyes with hope, goodness, reminding them about our shared humanity, about what binds us together, rediscovering our common good, returning the margins to the center where they belong. We need stories that are worthy of our attention. And we need to tell the stories that will show us that only the attention that we give to others will actually heal us. So thank you, and God bless your work and everything that you do.
Thank you, Sister Nina. There are many messages for you and for the network. Very inspiring. Then let's tell our stories. And now we would like to listen to 3 powerful testimonies, 3 of the stories, but you can find more in the report. And then the first one, our first testimony focuses on the lived realities and daily mission of Talitha Kum sisters around the world. I then invite Sister Carmen Ugarte Garcia, Talitha Kum Associate Coordinator and former Regional Coordinator for Latin America, to join us and to take the floor. Now I can see Sister Carmen on the card. I think we were in St. Peter's Square last GMPT day for the International Day of Prayer and Awareness Against Human Trafficking. Speranza in Italian means hope. is one of, I think, of the key words that we are repeating during this event: hope, courage. And please, if you can show us Sister Carmen in the screen, please. Now we see the, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Alejandra. Muchas gracias, Alejandra.
Just a sec. Okay, now here we are. Thank you. Hi, Carmen. I leave to you the floor. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Alejandra. Thank you very much. Voy a hablar en español. Muy buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches. El 2025 estuvo marcado por la inestabilidad política y grandes tensiones comerciales a nivel global. Los conflictos armados siguen sin lograr acuerdos de paz. La crisis climática pasó a ser una amenaza cotidiana y la IA cobró fuerza en el tejido empresarial, en los jóvenes y también en los traficantes. Esta realidad interpela de raíz la vida y la misión de Talitha Kum en cada momento. Reconocemos que las consecuencias devastadoras multiplican la vulnerabilidad de las personas en todos los aspectos, haciéndolas blanco fácil para los tratantes que sabemos están al acecho. ¿Cómo responden las hermanas, los jóvenes y todas las personas colaboradoras que forman parte de nuestras redes con compromiso y coraje a estos clamores de nuestras hermanas y hermanos? Quiero centrarme en la dimensión espiritual, en la mística y profecía que nos sostiene y anima en esta misión, aún en las situaciones más difíciles, porque las tenemos. Ante todo, el 2025 estuvo marcado por la gracia del jubileo de la esperanza. Nos invitó a ser peregrinos y peregrinas de la esperanza, a creer que la esperanza no defrauda, sobre todo si la hacemos nuestra compañera inseparable. Creo que así fue y sigue siendo. A través de una dedicación constante, creativa, comprometida, incansable y audaz, Talitha Kum va sembrando esperanza en los sectores y en los corazones más afectados por la violencia, la desigualdad y la explotación. El valor de este trabajo radica en la constancia de cada día y en la capacidad de incidencia, logrando generar momentos coyunturales que logran tener un impacto positivo en el tejido social de cada red local y cada persona beneficiada. La cercanía, el cuidado y respeto hacia las personas víctimas y sobrevivientes es lo que nos caracteriza. Estamos convencidas que la actitud compasiva, respetuosa y de ánimo es la que sana y transforma la vida y la levanta para emprender otros caminos con nueva conciencia de dignidad. Nuestro interés es que la gente esté informada para no dejarse engañar. De ahí el empeño en espacios formativos de calidad y capacitaciones constantes acerca de la realidad y cómo incidir. Porque nos preocupa el giro hacia la ciberesclavitud, que está representando un área oscura y alarmante entre la tecnología y la delincuencia transnacional, vamos creciendo en nuestro posicionamiento digital y canales de comunicación, logrando visibilizar el delito de la trata de personas con reflexiones y tips de prevención constantes y, por supuesto, difundiendo con éxito el impacto de nuestro trabajo en todo el mundo. En muchas redes se ha incrementado el acompañamiento a víctimas y sobrevivientes y vemos con alegría cómo se reconstruyen vidas y familias a largo plazo. También las hermanas acompañan a personas migrantes, se hacen presentes incluso en esas rutas inseguras a fin de detectar situaciones de explotación y por lo mismo van ampliando los servicios de ayuda. Una labor relevante y también de riesgo es la implicación y acompañamiento a grupos de madres buscadoras, sobre todo en América Latina, llamadas así porque son especialmente las madres que se han unido para buscar a sus hijos, a sus hijas y familiares desaparecidos a manos del crimen organizado, generalmente para la explotación sexual, laboral y actividades delictivas. En las fechas conmemorativas, 8 de febrero, 8 de marzo, 30 de julio, 23 de septiembre, 25 de noviembre, 10 de diciembre, y las que cada red propone a nivel local, hay eventos especiales de concientización y compromiso. Se promueve la movilización social y política. Hermanas, laicos y jóvenes salen a la calle alzando la voz con innumerables pronunciamientos de denuncia y esperanza. Sí, porque seguimos creyendo en la utopía que una vida libre de trata de personas es posible. La presencia de los jóvenes es ya una fuerza en Talitha Kum. Puedo sentir su energía, audacia y determinación en cada red. Durante el 2025 se amplió la formación y como fruto de ello se va formando un grupo fuerte en cada continente. Durante el 2025, Talitha Kum financió variados y creativos proyectos alrededor del mundo. Proyectos de apoyo a mujeres sobrevivientes, iniciando así procesos de empoderamiento en lo emocional y en nuevos emprendimientos. Proyectos para jóvenes y otras iniciativas de prevención liderados por los mismos jóvenes. Estamos frente a un fenómeno mundial que sobrepasa las competencias de una sola comunidad o nación y por lo tanto se necesita una movilización de dimensión comparable a la del mismo fenómeno, nos recuerdan las orientaciones pastorales. Y sí, Talitha Kum hoy es una red más fuerte y se posiciona en el mundo como signo visible de esperanza y denuncia contra la explotación. No obstante, hay muchos desafíos que requieren estar en alerta permanente y compromiso sostenido. Reconocemos con profunda gratitud que las alianzas con otras instituciones, personas y grupos y más congregaciones que articulan su carisma hacen posible esta misión compartida y profética. Termino con palabras de la hermana Agnes, a quien el año pasado en Tailandia recibió el reconocimiento del gobierno por el impactante trabajo de Talitha Kum en las escuelas, logrando que se implemente en el currículum nacional esta área de prevención contra la trata de personas. Cada niño al que ayudamos a ser autónomo es una victoria sobre la explotación. Y así es. Cada niño, cada niña, cada joven, cada mujer y cada familia que Talitha Kum ayuda a ser autónomo, autónoma, es una victoria sobre la explotación y una esperanza para la humanidad. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, Sister Carmen. Thank you for your testimony. And now we move to the next testimony. Thank you also to the audience, to the community online. They are sharing reaction to all the speeches. And now we move to the second testimony. And let's remind ourselves that Talitha Kum is not just an organization working for victims and survivors of human trafficking. Survivors are a core part of who we are. We work, plan, and stand together. We walk together. It is a shared journey. Then now the next speaker, Linda, bring us this voice from the survivors community, part of the Talitha Kum network. Linda is joining us from Philippines, and please, I ask Gianluca and Emma to play the video. Thank you.
Just correction, joining from Indonesia.
Oh, sorry,
My
from
personal
Indonesia.
experience.
Gianluca,
It
sorry,
represents
stop.
the voice of many
We can
survivors of
restart.
human trafficking. What I'm about to share is more than my personal experience. It represents the voice of many survivors of human trafficking whose stories are still unheard. My hope is that my journey will inspire us to strengthen our commitment to protecting victims and preventing others from experiencing the same suffering. In 2023, I became a victim of human trafficking in Manila, Philippines. Ironically, I was not recruited by a stranger. The person who approached me was my neighbor and also my friends. I knew my family well, so I had no reasons, no doubt her intentions. At that time, I was living in a very vulnerable situations. I was struggling financially and deeply worried about my futures. When I was offered a job overseas, I believed it was an opportunity to build a better life. With hope in my heart, I accept the offer. Unfortunately, what I believed to be an opportunity turned out to be a nightmare. I was deceived and trafficked into criminal operations. When I arrived in Manila, I was forced to work in an online scam compound. Every day became a painful struggle. I knew that what I was being forced to do was wrong. I understood that innocent people were being harmed. However, I have no choice, but I no longer have any freedom. The compound was heavily guarded by armed security personnel. Escape seems almost impossible. Compared with many of my friends, I was one of the fortunate ones. Others endured physical violence, intimidation, threats, and severe abuse that was even worse than what I experienced. Every day we live in fear, without freedom dignity, and hope. Then, in the midst of despair, God opened a way. With the help of a trust friend from God, whom God used in an instrument of hope, I managed to escape and found refuge in a convent operated by Talitha Kum network in Manila. For the first time in many months, I experienced safety, compassion, and genuine human kindness. I witnessed two completely different worlds. One was a world filled with exploitations, fear, and violence. The other was a community built on love, dignity, and hope. Through Talitha Kum and IGM Indonesia, I experienced God's mercy in a very real way. Although I had escaped, my journey was far from finished. I had no passport, my visa had expired, and I was facing penalties for overstaying. Returning home required complicated administrative procedures that seems overwhelming. I consider myself fortunate because I received support from Talitha Kum and IGM. Many other survivors were not as fortunate. Document processing was often slow, coordinations between countries was limited, victim protections remains inadequate, and difference in the legal system made repatriations even more difficult. Even after returning home, many survivors continued to face legal uncertainty, emotional trauma, social stigma, and a lack of understanding from their own communities. Despite this challenge, I experienced God's grace through the kindness of many people. The sister of Talitha Kum IGM Indonesia and many compassionate friends helped me rebuild my life. Although my journey of healing is not yet complete, I know that I am no longer alone. Today, I believe survivors can become a source of strength for one another. Together, we can transform our painful experience into hope and positive change for others. Based on my experience, I believe there are several important actions we must take together. First, survivor support must go beyond repatriations. Survivors need safe housing, health care, trauma-informed counseling, legal assistance, document replacement, financial support, and long-term reintegrations. Second, system identification system must be strengthened. Police, immigration officer, and consular official should recognize indicators of trafficking before treating victims as offenders. Third, victims should never be punished for crimes they were forced to commit under coercion, including immigration violations or activities carried out under threats and exploitations. Fourth, and justice system must focus on dismantling the entire trafficking network. Recruiters, financiers, corrupt officials, money launderers, and transnational criminal organizations, not merely arresting low-level actors. Fifth, stronger cross-border cooperation is essential. Governments must establish faster, simpler, transparent, and survivor-centered mechanisms for protections and repatriations. Six, every investigation should adopt a trauma-informed approach. Survivor needs safety, trust, and psychological support before they are expected to safety. Finally, survivors themselves must be involved in shaping policies. Our life experience reveals realities that statistics alone cannot capture and can help build more effective system of protections. Today, I invite all of us stand together. Let us work alongside survivors, Talitha Kum, IGM, governments, faith communities, civil society organizations, and every stakeholder committed to ending human trafficking. Real change is only possible when we work together across borders and across sectors. Every human being deserves to live in freedom, safety, and dignity. Thank you for listening to my story, for your compassion, and for your commitment to creating the world where no one is left vulnerable to human trafficking. Together we can transform survivor pain into hope, justice, and lasting change. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We invite you just to pause a second to honor her testimony, Linda's testimony, to receive her message in our heart and mind. Thank you very much. And now we turn to the third testimony. As we said, Sister Rabbi, Sister Carmen, Talitha Kum Network works with a deep focus on the present, but also with an eye toward the future. And to achieve this, Talitha Kum started some years ago a program, the Talitha Kum Youth Ambassador Against Human Trafficking, starting in Asia and then moving and spreading around the world. And you will find a dedicated section in our report about this program and with testimonies from the youth ambassador in different regions where Talitha Kum is present. Today we are joined by one of them, Apagari Karwi, a Talitha Kum youth ambassador from Zimbabwe. And I ask Gianluca and Emma, please, to share the video.
Good day to you all, everyone, religious leaders, coordinators, and youth ambassadors. My name is Apagari Karwi, a Talitha Kum youth ambassador from Zimbabwe. It is my great privilege and an honor to be part of this special event, which is the launch of Talitha Kum Annual Report of 2025. I am confident that today is not merely about the publication of events done throughout the whole year, but it is about the testimony of lives that have been touched, communities that have been transformed, and hope that have been restored. Kindly allow me to share my testimony, my journey with Talitha Kum as a youth ambassador. My journey with Talitha Kum International began in 2023 after being selected for an international training. Before the training, I never really knew about the existence of human trafficking. Neither did I know about its devastating impacts on individuals, families, and communities. But soon after the training, it opened my eyes to the existence and realities of human trafficking, and it opened my heart as well to be part of the solution. It gave me different skills, including confidence and practical skills, leadership skills, on how I can be part of the solution and how I can practically be able to impact my own community at the grassroots level. Soon after my training in 2025, we were highly equipped on the importance of utilizing peer group networks. And I used my peer group networks utilizing social media accounts, including WhatsApp and Facebook. I utilized by posting anti-human trafficking messages, and it would receive a lot of views, which was another form of awareness. And some individuals would even come to my inbox and start discussing the topic relating to human trafficking. And this was another form of awareness as well. And since I was also at the Midland State University, I also utilized this opportunity by conducting in group discussions, awareness campaigns, and also workshops, training different individuals, social workers, who are also frontliners in Zimbabwe. So soon after they graduate, I am highly confident that they would also impart the same knowledge to different victims within Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is still a developing country, which is by virtue of being a developing country susceptible to human trafficking, since most of the people would migrate from Zimbabwe to other countries in search of better jobs as well as education. So training and giving awareness to other students at the Midland State University was highly impactful, because they are at high risk of being trafficked as well, since most of the social workers in Zimbabwe, they go out of Zimbabwe searching for better opportunities, and most of the market for social workers is out of the country, in Britain, Australia, and also Canada, to just mention a few. So this was another way that I have utilized within my own journey to spread awareness to my peer groups. The greatest impact of my journey has been noticing and seeing that ignorance has been replaced by knowledge, and also that fear has been replaced by awareness, through which this has been achieved by my effort of spreading anti-human trafficking awareness, workshops and trainings in different churches, universities, colleges, schools, and also different social media platforms. I have also noticed that the youths that I have also trained are now becoming confident and good protagonists of change within their own peer groups, their communities, their families. I'm highly grateful of this achievement, and I credit it to Talitha Kum International for impacting knowledge within me that I can now spread to my own community. May we kindly continue this mission in solidarity, and may God bless you all, and I thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And thank you to all the speakers. And we would now like to open the floor to our community online. If you have any question, I don't know if there are any questions or comments or so that you would like to share with us. I think we have, I'm looking at Sister Abby, 5 minutes, 7 minutes for this Q&A, but please, if you need any clarification on the report, or if you have anything that you would like to share. I know that Sister Abby is now going to call the regional coordinator, maybe, I don't know, but if you like, you can take the floor.
Thank you so much, Alexandra. Of course, so many speakers. Yeah, this is our floor. Maybe the regional representatives are also would like to address as well to Sister Nina, and of course the executive secretary of UISG, and all of us. Anything that you would like to clarify, of course, to make a comment, especially I think Linda is still around. Linda is courageously really share her story. So I think she's around. And of course, also Paghari, I don't know if I pronounce your name right. Many of your youth ambassadors are around, so please do so.
I'm looking at the chat. There are many messages. Let's see. Otherwise, I have one or two questions. But yes, please, from the net, it will be nice to have also your voices here. Thank you for all the message and support. We can feel, I think, the people around the world. We
Yes.
are all together here.
Yes, from all over the world. Some of them are really crack on the dawn. Somebody from California, yeah, somebody
Yeah.
from Peru. So it's
Yeah.
too early for them. But
Yeah.
thank you for your time. Of course, this is our how we say, our work or our mission, our report is let's join together. Ana Maria, the regional coordinator from Latin America. I think I saw Annette from Oceania is also here. Of course, Kayula from Africa, Marie Powers. So please, yeah, Linda is also around. Thank you, thank you. Any would like to make a comment?
I think we share a lot.
I think so.
We
There's
have
a lot of things to digest to this
Yes.
report, and of course, I encourage you to read. Of course, from Oceania as well. Sarah is also here for the director of Accra. Anyway, thank you for your now Annette, I saw her. It's hard to see her from the screen. Thank you for your
Yeah.
presence.
Sister Abby, if you agree, maybe we can. I don't see any hands. Maybe we can just collect all the thoughts and we can go through the end of this event. Very encouraging testimonial. Keep it up, our dear brother and sister listening from Mombasa, Kenya. Thanks a lot. Congratulations at all. If you agree, Abby, I need your green flag.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, just to
Okay.
acknowledge many of you are here. I cannot thank you much, but of course, yeah.
And
So if you want to wrap up,
yeah.
Alessandra, and then we'll call out later on. Thank you.
And now Abby asked me to switch to the Italian, that is my mother tongue, as you maybe feel. And now then I'm switching to Italian. Allora, io ringrazio davvero
I would like to thank
tutta la rete,
all the
Talitha Kum,
network,
per
Talitha Kum
il lavoro
network,
fatto in questi mesi.
for the work
Abbiamo
done
iniziato
through
diversi
these
mesi
months.
fa,
We
subito
started several months ago,
l'8 di
right
febbraio,
after the 8th of February,
abbiamo iniziato a riguardare
and
indietro
we
l'anno
started to
precedente
look back
e
at the previous year.
davvero, lo ripeto, non
I would like to
faccio parte
repeat that I really feel
rete,
part
abbiamo
of the
lavorato
network.
insieme, ma
We
questo
have worked
rapporto
together,
diventi
and
uno
this
strumento di
relationship
lavoro, un modo per
has to
far
become
conoscere
a
Talitha
tool
Kum
to
ai
work together, a way to let Talitha Kum be known all around the world, in order to tell our story, to tell our effort. I think that in this report we find a very important tool for the work of Talitha Kum, but also for all the levels of the network, for those deciding to fight against the human trafficking and those who have an involvement against human trafficking. This is because you find stories and a high-level vision, a regional, a global vision, but also daily engagement, starting from the smallest communities. And I would like to thank you for being able to read all these realities, all these stories. I'm so grateful. Today, we added other opinions in the report. You see a strategic vision, a service vision, something to continue to impact on policies with advocacy actions, and so that we do not let anyone alone. All these families are still looking for people who were victims of the trafficking, human trafficking. Now I would like to thank all the people who have worked for the realization of this report. We have a great page of credits in the report, so you will find all the details, but namely I would like to thank Sister Abby, Emma from Talitha Kum, who I worked with every day. Thank you for your professionalism, mediation skill. It was an excellent work. Thanks to Sister Bernadette, Jacqueline, Carmen, Sister Teresa from WISG, and Gianluca. So all the people who made this possible. And thanks to all the interpreters, Marilu Balbis for Spanish, Michela Di Franco for Portuguese, Christine Guibault for French, and Jessica Scagnelli for Italian. I would like to stop here because I guess we have a question. So I will stop here and let's see if we can give the floor to the person who would like to speak.
Okay, you have the floor.
Bonjour, bonsoir tout le monde. Je vous espère
Bonjour.
bien. C'est parfait du Togo.
Yeah, you would like to say something?
Je voulais dire merci pour ce partage parce que ce partage nous permet de voir les actions qui sont menées et nous permet à nous jeunes aussi de comment nous orienter pour œuvrer et mettre fin à la traite des personnes. Donc, je voulais vraiment dire merci et ça nous a été utile et nous œuvrons pour impacter et lutter pour mettre fin à la traite des personnes. Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Abby.
Yes, thank
Do
you
you see
so
any
much.
other, do you
I
see any
think-
other hands?
I think Hector Miranda, do you want to say something? Your hand was raised. Hector Miranda, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, I was about to write a message. I'm writing from, well, actually, I'm talking from Mexico. I just wanted to reiterate, first of all, thank you, Carmen, for allowing me to experience this report and for this work, to this presentation of the work that's been done. I've been very close to the work done here by the network Rajamin. It's admirable to look at this effort and we seek to accompany these harsh realities. I just wanted to say, well, reiterate my admiration because I think that a lot of the work that is not included in the report goes through many situations of risk that are behind those accompanying these realities. It is good to look at the whole part of justice and accompaniment, but I think that we also have to highlight this. And I know there's a whole group of people, lay people, but especially the role that is played by the feminine religious life. I wanted to recognize this and to repeat my admiration. From Mexico, we're seeking to accompany this. So thank you so much.
Gracias, thank you very much. Grazie mille. Okay, Abby.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for all your participation. I think Alexandra, I think is very, very effective in this player for moderation. Thank you so much. And as well,
Abby, just two things.
Sister Dayalini is also raising her hand, of course.
Okay, Sister Dayalini, please, the floor is yours.
Give me. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Alexandra, for giving this chance. I think, as Sister Nina said rightly, our greatest strength of Talitha Kum is networking. So we are ever grateful for all the partners, very especially UISG members and all the partners, supportive, all those who are helping us. So we are ever grateful on behalf of entire Talitha Kum family members, because alone we cannot fight against this crime. It's a big, as all of you are aware of, that is a big web that we are actually swimming against the current. So, but it is our greatest strength. So thank you so much for everyone. And very special thank to our international coordinator and the team members. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ana Maria Vilca now. The floor is yours.
Greetings to all. A special thank you to the coordinating team led by Sister Abby, by all this energy, this work in this networking, working in collaboration in such a polarized world as Talitha Kum. We say that together we can contribute to build a society that is free of this crime, such as trafficking. This energizes us to know that beyond the frontiers, we are relying on someone who is fighting the same fight with the same objective. This gives us strength and energizes us. I appreciate so much the commitment of so many young people. There are sisters and collaborators who accompany these young people, and these young people become protagonists in fighting against this crime. So I'm very thankful, and I'd like to greet every member of this major.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think, Abby, all the
Yes.
hands up were covered. And okay, no, there is another one. Bekezela, please. We cannot see you. Maybe
Unmute yourself. Okay.
Okay. Can you?
You are a little bit in the dark, but maybe we can hear you.
Okay. I'm in the dark. Sorry. I just want to appreciate. I'm from Zimbabwe, from the Conference of Major Religious Superiors in Zimbabwe. Would like to appreciate UISG, Talitha Kum, for the support that they give us. Actually, you have helped us to give hope to our people here in Zimbabwe, especially the young people who have been trafficked. And we still hope that we'll still, together with you, do more to bring life and hope to these young people. And sadly, the way it is happening nowadays is that even the family members are taking a very active part in trafficking fellow family members, and it's a very sad development, of which we are hoping that with time we are going to together to end this. So even if it's not now, but the hope that we are giving to the young people is very immense. And may God bless Talitha Kum. May God bless all our activities. And this annual report has brought a lot of light to me. I always thought human trafficking is mainly an African problem. But when I see all of you who are here, I see that it is a universal problem. And together we shall manage to fight it. We get more strength from God. And may God bless us as we work. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, Abby, I think it's time to wrap up the Q&A, right? And then to finish the thanks list, for me, it's important also to thank Livia Ranzini, Marco Soma, and Domenico Cosentino for Sigma. They take care of the graphic design and the website for the report. As we said, you can find the report on our website in English. Please download, please use it. And you also can find the press release in 5 languages. Then to tell the story, maybe it helps if you can share and spread with your media contact and with other partners. We want to extend our deepest gratitude to all the members of Talitha Kum, the UISG, our regional and national coordinators, every local network member, the survivors, the interfaith youth groups, our mission partners, staff, donors, and all people of goodwill who walk this journey with us. Together, united, we are stronger. Let's continue this walk together. And now I leave the floor to Sister Mary John for the final remarks. Thank you, Sister Mary John.
Thank you.
Mary John, UISG Vice Executive Secretary.
Thank you, Alessandra. You have already thanked everyone extensively and wrapped up nicely, but I will wrap up the wrap up. Dear friends, I wish to acknowledge gratefully from the part of OISG the hands and minds that worked meticulously behind this laudable report. This report is not merely a narration of events and experiences or numbers and figures, but is very motivating, engaging, and hope-giving in this otherwise bleak situation of our world. A report of this stature cannot be produced without the concerted and persevering effort of many hands, heads, and minds. I wish to thank the persons and organizations in a very special way for their key role in the production of this report. In particular, the honorable ambassadors of our embassies, various embassies. I think Miss Annabelle was there present, and our generous donors and helpers, the Hilton Foundation, Portuguese, and others. Our partner organizations, especially the representatives of various dicasteries, and Sister Bernadette, who is not present here but has played a key role in this report. And I wish to thank you also, Sister Nina, for the key message, for your reflection on consecrated life and its relation to this sister-led network. Thank you. Thank you also our translators who have done a commendable job and making it nice for everyone in different languages to listen and to integrate. And thank you the religious congregations for releasing their sisters for Talitha Kum network and for the continued support that you give Talitha Kum. And I wish to thank in a very special way Miss Alessandra Tarquini for navigating us through the agenda in a timely and focused way, and for being very helpful in coordinating the work on the annual report and facilitating the dissemination with the press. Thank you very much. In a very special way, I want to gratefully acknowledge the hard work of Sister Abby Avellino, the Talitha Kum International Coordinator. Sister Abby is a quiet achiever. She has an unassuming but effective way of taking Talitha Kum ahead. She is supported by very committed Talitha Kum office staff in OISG, especially Miss Emma, Sister Carmen, Sister Denin, and Sister Jacqueline. You can all look at the report with pride and a great sense of achievement. Dear friends, if I have forgotten to mention any name, it is certainly unintended. I know that so many have worked long and hard for today's launch. Going through the report, especially looking at the numbers and figures, we can conclude that Talitha Kum is growing from strength to strength. The report is very comprehensive, colorful, and alive. May the brave testimonies, new initiatives, deep insights, and fearless advocacy that this report carries bring hope and light to all who are grappling with the problem of human trafficking and all those who work to alleviate this suffering. I wish Talitha Kum team and all of us much luck and many blessings in our continued journey against human trafficking. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sister Mary John. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's alive, this report, and colorful. And please, Sister Abby, if you have any final words, and then will be Sister Rupika Pereira from Sri Lanka leading us to the final prayer, closing prayer.
Yes, thank you, Alexandra. I think it's a lot of people to thank, because I don't want to forget to thank as well the UISG, Sister Roxanne, of course, Sister Mary Joan, your support for all Superiors General to support, and the President, Sister Una, which is part of this contribution. She's not here because of her troubles, but of course my team, recognizing Emma, I think we mentioned everybody, but of course, Sister Jacqueline, Sister Carmen, and many of us. Truly, to Alexandra, she did a lot of coordination with this report. And of course, Quattro Sigma for all this very good job. And I hope you can enjoy it once we finish. And Sister Nina, that's inspiring story. And most of all, to all of you who really were behind this figure. Dineen, Sister Dineen, she did a lot, and you probably most of you recognize her, asking you for collection of data, but she's behind of this work as well. Thank you so much. And behind of that, I think she's not here. Miss Sylvia Scarpa. Miss Sylvia Scarpa is also part of our network, a collaborator from John Cabot University, a consultant. And she did a lot as well. So we'll thank her. Even though she's not here, I hope she will see this video later on. And to all of you, I think we already mentioned many names, but we cannot express our gratitude. So thank you from the bottom of heart. Tomorrow is our day, the World Day Against Human Trafficking. July 30, I know for sure many of you were mobilizing all over the world, but this is not the end of the day, but we hope that we can continue to spread the awareness raising and of course the end human trafficking. Thank you so much again, Alexandra. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sister.
And now we will now conclude on our gathering with a closing prayer led by Sister Rupika Pereira from Talitha Kum, Sri Lanka. Thank you once again to everyone and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Let us recollect ourselves and pray. Loving and compassionate God, with gratitude heart, we come before you at the close of this gathering. We thank you for the successful launch of the Talitha Kum International Annual Report, which reflects the dedication, courage, and hope of our global network. We praise you for every person, community, and country that has worked tirelessly to prevent human trafficking. Protect the vulnerable, accompany survivors, and restore the dignity of every person. Bless all the members of Talitha Kum Network with renewed strength, wisdom, and perseverance as they continue this mission of compassion and justice. We offer our heartfelt gratitude for our international coordinator, Sister Abby Avelino, and the entire Talitha Kum International team. Thank you for their inspiring leadership, generous financial support, and loving care for every network around the world. Continue to bless them with good health, courage, and the guidance of the Holy Spirit as they lead this global mission. We also thank you, Father, for all those who contributed for the success of today's event. Lord, strengthen our unity across nations, cultures, and languages. May we continue to walk together in solidarity, giving hope to those who suffer and working faithfully to end human trafficking in all its forms. Fill us with your love so that we may always be instruments of your peace, justice, and compassion. We entrust all our effort to the loving care of Mary, our Mother of Hope, and ask her to accompany us as we continue our mission of protecting human dignity and freedom. We make our prayers through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.